Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Roll Tide 99 YouTube channel. Glad you can join me for a live reaction stream in this game between the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Eastern Illinois Panthers. Breaking news happened just before the game where three key starters, including leading receiver Jeremy Bernard and starting tight end Josh Cuevas, are out for this game. Even so, it is expected Alabama should win by a significant margin, but fingers crossed, and just so you can see, I did cross the fingers, I'm not flipping off the camera, that we are right. Alabama comes into the game with a record of 8-2. Eastern Illinois comes into the game with a record of 3-8 and just looking to put to an end a miserable season. Alabama looking to use this as a tune-up game to get ready for the Iron Bowl next week, which will be a must-win game both for SEC title hopes and college football playoff hopes. Ty Simpson, the starter. In all likelihood, this will be a first-half only stream unless Eastern Illinois is a lot more competitive than we thought they were going to be. But in all likelihood, this will be a first half only stream. Because once the score exceeds Alabama leading by more than 35 and the starters are pulled, we're going to put in the stream. Alabama deferred to the second half and will kick off first. Eastern Illinois receiving the ball. Kickoff fair caught by Eastern Illinois at the 5-yard line. 1st and 10 Panthers. Actually, still don't even know who the starting quarterback is for Eastern Illinois. There it is, Connor Wolf. They just showed it on the screen. So Wolf leading out the Eastern Illinois Panthers in a tall task for the Panthers. 1st and 10 Panthers. Ball at their own 25-yard line. Wolf in shotgun. Takes a snap, hands it off to his running back, who is swarmed immediately for a loss of about 1 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 11 for the Panthers. Correction, Cole LaCrue is actually the starting quarterback. There was a graphics error. Anyway, it's number 3, LaCrue, the starting quarterback for the Panthers. 2nd and 11, LaCrue in shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to throw, gets immediately swarmed by the Alabama defense and will drop down for a loss of about 5 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 16 for the Panthers. Eastern Illinois' offensive line just completely collapsed, and there were holes everywhere for the Alabama defense to run right through. LaCrue stood absolutely no chance right there. Officially ruled 3rd and 15 for the Panthers from the 20-yard line. 3rd and 15. LaCrue in shotgun. Hands it off to his running back, number 22. Actually gets a few good yards. Actually got the first down. First down, Panthers. Kellum, number 22 of the Panthers, with the big run. And what is hopefully not a sign of things to come for this Alabama defense, allowing Eastern Illinois that big 15-plus yard run from Kellum. 1st and 10 Panthers. LaCrue in shotgun. Fakes a handoff, then decides to throw it. Looked like it was incomplete, but an Alabama player caught it. Number 5, Lee Jr., on the interception there, caught it off the helmet of an Eastern Illinois player. Turnover almost immediately in the game. Alabama has the ball. Lee Jr. basically used the helmet of the Eastern Illinois player to intercept that ball. Like he grabbed the helmet and the ball at the same time, pinned it against the Eastern Illinois player's helmet, then scooped it. 1st and 10, Alabama. Ball at the 46-yard line of Eastern Illinois. Simpson under center. Hands it off to Miller. Miller, gain of about 3 on the carry, brings up 2nd and 7 for the Crimson Tide. Officially ruled 2nd and 9. Simpson now in shotgun. Again, remember the key receiver and the starting tight end are out of the game. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Miller. This time he's able to get a little bit of an outside room. Gain of about 7 on the play brings up 3rd and 2 for the Crimson Tide. It'll be interesting to see what the strategy is with the Alabama passing game, given that you have Jeremy Bernard and Josh Cuevas not available for the game. Officially ruled 3rd and 3 for Alabama. Do you lean more on Ryan Williams potentially? Possibly Isaiah Horton? Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Miller. Short of the first down. Only gains about 2 on the play. 4th and 1. And let's see what Alabama decides to do. Alabama defense held really well other than allowing a run on that previous drive. Let's see if they try to basically dare Eastern Illinois to do something. 4th and 1, Simpson in shotgun. Flag on the play. Throws it out to Horton. Horton gets the first down and some. Flag on the play, which I assume is not going to matter much because it looked like Eastern Illinois moved too early. And it is offside, but it's going to be declined because of the big gain there. 1st and 10, Alabama from the Eastern Illinois 22-yard line. Yes, number 9 on the defensive line for Eastern Illinois jumped too early. So that'll pick up a 1st and 10 for Alabama off of the pass to Horton. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it deep to Horton again. This time he gets it to about the 7-yard line. Another 1st and 10 for Alabama. Clock ticking to about 10 and a half minutes left to go in the first quarter. 1st and goal, for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Hill. Hill pushing forwards. Gets to about the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal for Alabama. Handed off to Hill, and he just powered his way forward until he's finally stopped. Actually, probably about the 1-inch line. Alabama tried to go up tempo there, but an incomplete pass there brings up 3rd and goal for Alabama. Looked like Ryan Williams was the intended receiver, but he dropped it. 3rd and goal from about the 1-inch line. Simpson under center. Hands it off to Miller. Miller goes in almost untouched. Touchdown, Alabama. as predicted, Alabama gets the first score of the game on their first drive of the game. Alabama moving the ball really good in chunks and just needed that one play to finish it off, and Miller gets it done. Pinning the extra point, going to be 7-0 Alabama very early in the game. Entry timeout, Panther down on the field. He's almost out cold, too. Oh, my goodness. Please pray for him. Trying to see the number of the guy, but either way, it looks like it's a bad injury. Best case scenario, he got the wind knocked out of him. TV timeout while the injured player is attended to. Try to see some scores from around the top 25. Not a lot of compelling matchups in the SEC right now, but there are a few that are somewhat compelling. In fact, one of them is happening as we speak right now. Let me see if I can find it. I think I might have. Oh, yeah, there it is. Third quarter, Oklahoma 14, Missouri 6. Number 13, Miami. There was some controversy in the rankings because Miami and Alabama were both ranked behind Notre Dame, but Alabama has a few more quality wins than Notre Dame, and Miami beat Notre Dame. Currently in the third quarter, Miami 20, Virginia Tech 10. And the rest of the scores happening right now in the top 25 and the SEC. Not really a lot going on here. You have Auburn 7, Mercer 7 early in the first quarter. You have number 4, Georgia, just completely wrecking the Charlotte 49ers, 28-3. That's at halftime. You have in the third quarter, the third-ranked Texas A&M Aggies completely destroying Stanford 38-0. Closest one right now is in the first quarter, currently on an injury timeout with Alabama 6, Eastern Illinois 0. Although you do have a rather good-looking matchup happening as we speak between Oklahoma and Missouri, 14-6 coming out at the half. Try to keep an eye on that one as much as I can while I'm watching this game here. Some big implications because if Missouri can somehow pull the upset, come back and pull the upset over Oklahoma, the SEC and playoff races are both going to be shaken up tremendously. Because, yes, Alabama lost to Oklahoma, but they did beat Missouri. So if Missouri can win out, that will reflect very well on Alabama. Because it could possibly put Missouri maybe even in the top 15. Other games notable that are going to happen. Vanderbilt. If Vanderbilt can beat Kentucky, then all Alabama will need to do next week is beat Auburn in order to advance to the SEC title game. Injury timeout over. About to kick the extra point. Apparently, the Eastern Illinois player is okay. I'll see if I can get an update on him. Extra point good. 9:45 left to go in the first quarter to score Alabama 7, Eastern Illinois 0. Other notable games that will take place, you have at 2:30, Texas taking on Arkansas. Texas looking to rebound after a brutal loss last week to Georgia. You got Tennessee, number 20, looking to beat Florida. And lastly, you have LSU later tonight taking on Western Kentucky. Those are the notable games taking place in the SEC. Not really a lot of notable games in the SEC between quality opponents. The most compelling matchup is actually happening right now. I don't know why they didn't put this one in prime time, between Oklahoma and Missouri. Commercial break after the extra point. Again, this is most likely going, as you can see by the title, this is most likely going to be a first half only stream. I'll change the title if we do, in fact, go somewhere into the second half. But that's all going to depend, because if the starters are gone and Alabama leads by at least 35 before the second half starts, I'm ending the stream at halftime. We will at least go to halftime, but I can't guarantee anything after that. Action coming back. Alabama about to kick off. I think I forgot to mention this earlier. This game is exclusive to SEC Network Plus. If you want to watch the game, what you have to do is you have to have a TV package that carries SEC Network, whether it be YouTube TV, Hulu, Sling. I think you can buy SEC Network as an add-on. And then you have to log in to the ESPN app, which will then take you to all of the ESPN networks, including the SEC Network Plus, which will then allow you to watch the game. Kickoff is in the air. Fielded by the Eastern Illinois player right around the 5-yard line. It's going to be swarmed quickly. Returns it to about 12-yard line. 1st and 10, Eastern Illinois. Trying to share this stream out to some people in a Discord that I am in real quick. Senior Day at Bryant-Denny Stadium. This is the last game this season that will take place at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama has to play on the road next week. The Crew in shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off. No, he faked the handoff, takes it himself. Gains only about 2 on the play. 2nd and 8 for Eastern Illinois. The Crew in shotgun. Ball comes loose. Eastern Illinois lineman falls on it about the 1-yard line. Loss about 10 on the fumble. Brings up 3rd and long for Eastern Illinois. Punched out on an attempted sack by number 96 of Alabama, and Eastern Illinois falls on it. Way back at the 1-yard line. The Crew under center. Hands it off to number 22, who gets stopped right around the line of scrimmage. Brings up 4th and long and a punting situation for Eastern Illinois. Alabama defense making quick work right there of the Eastern Illinois offense. Eastern Illinois actually lost over 10 yards there including the fumble that put them all the way back at their own 1 yard line. So for the first time today, we see either team's punting unit, because remember, Eastern Illinois threw an interception on their first drive and Alabama scored on their first drive. Punt returned by number 7, returned to about the Alabama 38, the Eastern Illinois 38-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. .732 remaining. Score Alabama 7, Eastern Illinois 0. Simpson in the shotgun. Hands it off to Riley. Riley, pretty good gain right there on first down. About a 9-yard gain, brings up 2nd and 1 for Alabama. Riley, kind of a silent weapon this season. Saw him a lot in the first 3 games, but really hadn't heard a lot from him since Miller came back from his injury. Officially ruled 2nd and 2 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off again. I think that's also, again, Riley. He gets about 5 yards in a first down to about the 24-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Hands off to Riley. Riley, gain of about 6 on the play, brings up 2nd and 4 for Alabama. Daniel Hill back into the game at running back. 2nd and 4. Simpson in shotgun. Looking to throw. Throws it out to number 11, who I don't think we've heard from all year. Gets it all the way to about the 8-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Actually, I think it's 1st and goal, depending on where he got pushed out. Officially ruled 1st and goal. Again, Jeremy Bernard is out of the game, so we will not hear from him. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Hill. Hill goes into the end zone, almost untouched. Touchdown, Alabama. So far, both touchdowns for Alabama have come off of runs by the running back. Simpson, even though he's been even though he's had a really big role in a bunch of these games, has not thrown a touchdown. Maybe it's a sign that Alabama's running game is finally starting to improve at a time that it really needs to. Here you go. Talty on the kick, the extra point. Extra point is good. With 4:49 left to go in the first quarter, to score Alabama 14, Eastern Illinois 0. That'll bring us to another TV timeout. Alabama looking kind of what we expected so far. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Alabama. Meanwhile, they forced an interception on Eastern Illinois' first drive and then forced Eastern Illinois to punt on their second drive. So Alabama looking what we expected and wanted to see out of them. especially coming off the loss to Oklahoma and needing a win in the Iron Bowl next week to keep their SEC and playoff hopes alive. Let's look for updates around the top 25. Other than the SEC, number 1 Ohio State leads Rutgers 21-3. Ohio State has a big matchup next week against their rival, the Michigan Wolverines. Of course, you have Miami 27, Virginia Tech 10. Virginia Tech just named ex-Penn State head coach James Franklin as their new head coach starting next year. And that's it. You have Georgia leading Charlotte 28-3 at halftime, and Texas A&M leading 41-10 over Samford in the fourth quarter. And of course, Alabama leading Eastern Illinois 14-0 in the first quarter. Still at commercial break here for Alabama, Eastern Illinois. Here we go. Kickoff about to happen again after that touchdown by Alabama. Kickoff is in the air. Goes out the back of the end zone for a touchback. Eastern Illinois will start their drive at their own 25-yard line. Eastern Illinois' first 2 drives ended in an interception and a punt. Alabama holding solid against Eastern Illinois, which we kind of expected. First and 10, Eastern Illinois. LeCroux in shotgun. Hands it off to number 28, but he's going to get swallowed up maybe for a gain of half a yard. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Eastern Illinois. Substitution made at quarterback for Eastern Illinois. Connor Wolf now in the game at quarterback. Wolf in shotgun. Again, hands it off to his running back. He gets absolutely nowhere. Swallowed completely up by the Alabama defense. Brings up 3rd and 10 for Eastern Illinois. Wolf and shotgun. Batted immediately at the line. Actually, I think they substituted LeCroux back into the game for that play. Either way, it was spatted and swatted at the line, incomplete. 4th and 10, Eastern Illinois. Punt is blocked, recovered and down by Eastern Illinois. But that's going to set up Alabama at the Eastern Illinois 12-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. I think that's the first time all year Alabama blocked a punt. Setting up nicely for Alabama's 3rd drive of the game. Ball officially ruled at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Simpson in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looks to throw. Overthrew Miller. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 for Alabama. Miller was wide open and would have had a touchdown, but Simpson overthrew him. So now Alabama faced with 2nd down. And Simpson is lucky no Eastern Illinois defender was anywhere near Miller. Otherwise, that would have been an interception. 2nd and 10, Simpson in shotgun. Throws out to Brooks. Brooks able to shake a few defenders free. Gains about 4 on the play, but a flag flew after he had crossed the line of scrimmage. Holding against Alabama. Back him up 10 yards, brings up 2nd and 10. I'm sorry, 2nd and 20 for Alabama. Hard to tell, really, if there was a holding there. Oh, wait, yeah, now I can tell as the Eastern Illinois player was trying to get free. Meadows. Officially called on Meadows. Just like grabbed the horse collar. Backs him up and brings up 2nd and 20. Simpson in shotgun. Throws out to number 0. Not sure who that is. Gains only about 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 18 for Alabama. Deer, number 0, has been out since Wisconsin due to nagging injuries, but is going to see time due to the injury to Bernard. Brings up 3rd and 15. Simpson takes a snap out of the shotgun, throws it out to Deer. Deer gets it to the 10-yard line, but is not near enough for the 1st down. Holding flag was really the drive killer there. They're going to bring on Talty to kick it on 4th and 6. This one a 28-yard attempt for Talty. Kick is no good. With 1:36 left to go in the 1st quarter, to score Alabama 14, Eastern Illinois 0. Not really what you had in mind there if you're Alabama, but at least you don't do a lot of damage there, as you were up 14-0 already. And Eastern Illinois' offense, other than 1 1st down early in the 1st quarter, has not been able to move the ball on your defense. But again, just another one of Talty's mistakes he's made. Luckily, this was not a crucial situation. Here we go. First and 10, Eastern Illinois. LaCrue takes a snap and hands it off to his running back. Swallowed up after a 1-yard gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 9 for Eastern Illinois. Clock ticks to within a minute left to go in the first quarter. LaCrue in shotgun. Hands it off to number 22, who gets about a 5-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 3 for Eastern Illinois. Here we go. 3rd and 4 officially for Eastern Illinois. LaCrue in shotgun. Hands it off. Spun down for about a 2-yard gain. Brings up 4th and 2 for Eastern Illinois. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Your score, Alabama 14, Eastern Illinois 0. And that is going to bring us to another TV timeout. I'm also going to take a timeout. Be back in a couple of minutes. All right, I'm back and still waiting for the game to return back from the commercial break after the end of the first quarter. See if I can get an update on the only real big matchup in the SEC right now, which is Oklahoma versus Missouri. Less than 5 minutes to go in the third quarter to score Oklahoma 17, Missouri 6. A lot less offense than I thought would have been present in that game. And the other one, given that there's a lot of usually what we call cupcake matches in the SEC, they're going as you would expect. Texas A&M blowing out Samford, Georgia blowing out Charlotte. Pretty sure later we're going to see LSU blow out Western Kentucky. Kind of an interesting one going on, though, between Virginia Tech and Miami. Although I wouldn't be surprised if at any point Miami starts to really pull away. Alabama fans not happy with Connor Talty after that miss there. Luckily, it did not come at a crucial point, unlike last week against Oklahoma. Here we are. Our cameras are back from commercial break. Fourth and 1 officially for Eastern Illinois. They still sent out the punting unit anyway. Punt is in the air. Covered by number 7 on the on the punt team. Brings it out to about the 35-yard line of Alabama. 1st and 10, Alabama. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. I live in a rural area where leaf burning is allowed and people are burning leaves outside right now. So I had to turn off my air conditioners to keep the stink out. But here we go. 1st and 10, Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Miller. Miller gains about 9 on the play. 2nd and 1 for Alabama. Surprised the flag wasn't thrown for offsides. Officially ruled 2nd and 3 for Alabama. 2 yards back from where I thought it was going to be. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap, hands it to Miller. Miller gets the outside, gets loose. 1st down and some before he's finally pushed out at the Eastern Illinois 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for Alabama. Somebody asked if Alabama has a backup kicker. Don't think it would hurt to put him in. No offense to Talty, but see if he can get a good field goal. Anyway, Simpson in shotgun. 1st and 10. Hands it off to Miller again. This time, Miller only really able to get about a yard there. 2nd and 9 for Alabama. Second and 9. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it to Riley. Riley just barely gets enough for the 1st down. 1st and 10, Alabama. Clock ticks to 12 and a half minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter. Timeout, Eastern Illinois. First 2 drives went as expected, but then the 2nd drive stalled out. See if this one, the 4th drive, if Alabama does manage to get a touchdown. Alabama's been more aggressive than we thought they would be. Maybe it's a sign that Alabama's going to be really aggressive next week in the Iron Bowl, given that both their SEC and playoff hopes will be on the line next week when they go to Jordan-Hare. Didn't know if you could see that. Still waiting for the game to come back from timeout. When they do, it'll be 1st and 10, Alabama, right around the 35-yard line, if I remember correctly. Meanwhile, late in the third quarter in the Oklahoma-Missouri game, that game scored still holds at Oklahoma 17, Missouri 6. And the rest of the games in the SEC are still blowouts. Cameras back from the commercial break after the timeout. There's some conversation happening between the special teams coordinator and a group of people. There's a number we haven't seen all year. I wonder if they're going to make a change at the kicker position. Here we go. 1st and 10 for the 35-yard line. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Hill. Hill gains about 6 on the play. No, excuse me. That's Deere on the play, not Hill. Brings up 2nd and 4 for Alabama. Officially ruled 2nd and 6 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it out to trying to figure out who that was. He gets the first down. It was the backup tight end. That's in for Cuevas, number 89 on the play. But it brings up a 1st and 10 for Alabama. That was Dalton, number 89, on the reception for Alabama. First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it out to, trying to see who that was. Riley on the reception. Gets it to about the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for Alabama. Beautiful pass by Simpson, and Riley just able to break free from a couple of tackles before he's brought down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal. Simpson in shotgun. Officially ruled at the 1-yard line. Hands off to Riley. Touchdown, Alabama again. That's going to put Alabama up pending the extra point. 21-0. And Talty is. Hold on, I want to hear something real quick. Okay, the crowd was actually booing when Talty took the field. Extra point right down the middle. With 10:04 left to go in the second quarter, the score, Alabama 21, Eastern Illinois 0. So far performing, other than the one drive that stalled out and ended with a missed field goal, Alabama performing out what we expected. Okay, that was a weird glitch. My camera disappeared for a second and then came back. Don't know if you noticed it, but on my side, my screen went black with a spinning wheel. But so far, other than the drive that stalled out, what we expected. 4 drives, 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Eastern Illinois has had 4 drives, no score, and only 1 first down. Sorry, I hit my computer. Still waiting for the game to come back for commercial break after the touchdown. Next college football playoff selection rankings going to be this coming Tuesday, with the final reveal coming on Sunday, December 7th at around noon Eastern. If Bama had not been eliminated, I will be going live for that. Meanwhile, kickoff gets a fair call. Eastern Illinois is going to have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. ESPN still giving Alabama a 62% chance of making the playoffs, but that's if they win out. Well, assuming they went out. So either they're predicting Alabama wins out or they lose in the SEC championship but still make it. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Eastern Illinois from their own 25-yard line. Wolf and shotgun. No, that's the crew. Gains about 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Eastern Illinois. Officially ruled 2nd and 9 for Eastern Illinois. Wolf and shotgun. Throws it, completes to number 8. Gain of about 12 on the play. Brings up 1st and 10 Eastern Illinois. That was Green, number 8 for Eastern Illinois on the reception. And that will be Eastern Illinois' 2nd first down of the game. Last time that happened, Alabama got an interception on the next play. Let's see what happens. Wolf and shotgun. Hands it off. Gains about 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Eastern Illinois. Officially ruled 2nd and 7 for Eastern Illinois. Wolf and shotgun. Looks to throw, throws it. Incomplete. Bobbled, but then knocked out. Brings up 3rd and 7 for Eastern Illinois. Wolf and shotgun. Hands it off to Kellum, who is swallowed up almost immediately for no gain on the play. Brings up 4th and 7 for Eastern Illinois. First, Alabama did allow their Eastern Illinois second first down, but not much happening other than that on the drive. And Eastern Illinois will be punting yet again. Mason Miller punting for Eastern Illinois. Punt is in the air. Returned by number 7 of Alabama. Gets it to about the 23-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Alabama controversially ranked behind Notre Dame despite being 4th in strength of schedule and being 4-1 against ranked opponents, whereas Notre Dame is 29th in strength of schedule and 1-2 against ranked opponents. Here he goes, 1st and 10. Simpson and shotgun. If a touchdown scored here, I wouldn't be surprised if Simpson's last drive. Simpson takes the snap, looks deep, intercepted by number 21 of Eastern Illinois, and returns it to the Alabama 16-yard line. 1st and 10, Eastern Illinois. Bad play right there, which is not what you want to see. Even against an overmatched opponent, you don't want to be making mistakes like that, because what if that would have been Auburn? I don't know who he was even looking for. I think he was looking for Williams, but a miscue happened. Seventh straight game for Simpson committing some form of a turnover, whether it be an interception or a fumble. Wolf and shotgun, hands it off, and his running back is swallowed up immediately for a 5-yard loss on the play. He brings up 2nd and 15 for Eastern Illinois. Second and 14, Wolf and shotgun. Sacked immediately. around the 30-yard line for a loss of about 10 on the play, brings up 3rd and 24 for Eastern Illinois. So the Alabama defense able to so far make up for the error that happened by Ty Simpson on the previous drive. Now looking to cause even more damage to Eastern Illinois here. Probably the best drive so far we've seen the Alabama defense have against the Eastern Illinois offense. Officially ruled 3rd and 28. Wolf and shotgun. Looking to throw. Throws it to his running back, who gets a loss of about 2 on the play. Brings up 4th and 30 for Eastern Illinois. It looks like Eastern Illinois is going for it for some reason. Officially ruled 4th and 25. Looks like Eastern Illinois is going for it here. Don't know why, but they also have nothing left to lose here. So, guess it's a wise decision. Throws it. Incomplete. Turnover on downs, Eastern Illinois. Alabama will now have it 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Wolf tried to get it to a wide open receiver, but the defender swarmed right onto the receiver to knock it out right before he landed. Commercial break. With about 5.5 minutes left to go in the first half, the score Alabama 21, Eastern Illinois 0. See if Alabama can make up for the mistake made on the last drive where Simpson threw an interception. Simpson hands it off to Miller. Miller gets the first down and some. Has a lot of running room before he's pushed out right around the Eastern Illinois 42-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Beautiful run by Miller, one of his best runs all season. Brings up another 1st and 10 for Alabama. Clock ticks below 5 minutes left to go in the half. Simpson in shotgun. Takes a snap right before the clock on the play clock hits 0. Ended it off to Miller, but this time he's stuffed after a gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for Alabama. Simpson in shotgun. Hands it off to Miller. No, Simpson took it himself. Gets the 1st down and some before he's finally brought down at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Simpson throws it out to number 14. Gets a gain of about 5 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 5 for Alabama. Simpson on center. Tosses out to Miller. Miller, gain of about 2 on the play, brings up 3rd and 3 for Alabama. Two-minute timeout. With 2 minutes left to go in the first half, the score, Alabama 21, Eastern Illinois 0. At this rate, it looks like I will stay on into the beginning of the first half. We'll still take a halftime break. But it looks like this won't be a first half only stream unless something really weird happens between now and halftime. Pretty much the only way I won't stay on for the for beginning of the second half is if Alabama gets a touchdown on this drive and then pick sixes Eastern Illinois, or returns some sort of a turnover for a touchdown to put them up 35-0. Action returning from the 2-minute timeout. Alabama has it 3rd and 2. Here we go. 3rd and 2. Simpson and shotgun. Hands it off to Miller. Miller just barely gets enough for the first down past the 20-yard line. Brings up 1st and 10, Alabama. Looks like if a field goal is necessary, Alabama will be making a change at kicker. Here we go. Simpson under center. Throws it out to Proctor. Gets about a gain of 4 on the play before he's knocked out of bounds. Brings up 2nd and 6 for Alabama. Officially ruled 2nd and 8 for Alabama. Timeout, Eastern Illinois. With 1:24 left to go in the second quarter to score, Alabama 21, Eastern Illinois 0. Thirty-second timeout. That didn't even feel like 15 seconds right there. Here we go. Quickly back from the timeout. Here we go. 2nd and 8. Ball at the Eastern Illinois 18-yard line. Simpson and shotgun. Hands it off to Riley. Riley gets around, gets the first down. Was it in? Ruled that he was out at the 1-yard line. Flag on the play. Holding against Alabama, so negate that big gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 18 for Alabama. Really good play, but number 11 ended up tugging on the back of a player's jersey. And that was actually in the end zone, too, so it would have probably reviewed it. Give it a touchdown, but the holding cost Alabama there. So it really doesn't matter. So the fact that they didn't call it a touchdown doesn't really matter. Here we go, 2nd and 18. Simpson and shotgun. Throws it out deep. Caught by somebody. I couldn't see the number there. It was caught by number 3 by a guy whose name I'm probably going to botch. Mababwe. Something along those lines. Ball at the 2.5-yard line, 1st and goal. Simpson and shotgun. Hands it off to Riley, who goes in untouched. Touchdown, Alabama. And there is a change at kicker. Hoddard, I'm assuming I'm also pronounced Peter. No, No, I'm sorry, Peter Noddard. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that guy's name right. He is now in at kicker for Alabama. So apparently Talty is done for. Ooh, that was an ugly looking extra point, but it dinged in. With 1:05 left to go in the second quarter, the score Alabama 28, Eastern Illinois 0. Here we go, about to kick off here. We're noting that Alabama will receive the ball to start the second half. 1:05 officially remaining in the second quarter. Kickoff is in the air, fielded in the end zone, and just taken for a touchback. So Eastern Illinois will start their next drive at their own 25-yard line. 1:05 left to go in the second quarter. So if Eastern Illinois does want to score in the first half, they have 1:05 left to go. But Alabama's defense has done really good at preventing Eastern Illinois from moving the ball. Only one first down for only 2 first downs for Eastern Illinois. -1 rushing yards. Wolf and shotgun. Hands it off, only gets about a 2-yard gain on the play, brings up 2nd and 8 for Eastern Illinois. Timeout, Alabama. Confused as to why Alabama will call a timeout in that situation. Maybe Alabama wants to get the ball back and make it a 35-0 game. I don't know. Simpson's sitting as though his day is done. So I would not be surprised if the next drive, whether it's in the next quarter or in this quarter, we see the backup Keelan Russell. Anyway, on that play, it was a handoff to a running back, but it was swallowed up almost immediately for a 5-yard loss. Second time out, Alabama. So it looks like Alabama is trying to get the ball back and score again before the end of the half. Nowhere to go. In fact, he lost probably about 2 yards on the play. Officially ruled 3rd and 10 for Eastern Illinois. 56 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Third and 10. Wolf and shotgun. Handed off to the running back, but he's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 4th and 10, Eastern Illinois. And I'm assuming Alabama will take their last timeout. Yes, they do. Final timeout, Alabama, with 52 seconds left to go in the second quarter. So Alabama will have one last possession in the first half, and then we'll have the first possession of the second half. I'll see if Bama scores or scores a touchdown. I might let the string go into the second half just so we can see the backups play for a couple series. Almost mishandled the punt, but it's in the air. Covered by number 7 of Alabama. Returns it to about the Alabama 33-yard line. First and 10 Alabama with 35 seconds left to go in the second quarter. It'll be interesting to see if Ty Simpson trots out or if they trot out the backup quarterback, Keelan Russell. I do expect the rest of the starters to play on this drive, even if Simpson does not trot out. And they do trot out Simpson in the shotgun. So regardless, I will continue to stream into the second half. Simpson almost intercepted again, but it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 for Alabama. Number 5 on the defense just stuck his paw right into the passing lane. I don't even know if Simpson saw him. Here he goes, 2nd and 10. Simpson in shotgun, looks to throw again. No, this time he's going to run it himself. Looking to go out of bounds, but he's tackled inbounds with 31 seconds left to go. Third and 5 for Alabama. We assume a deep shot is about to happen here. Simpson in shotgun. Play whistle dead. Timeout, Eastern Illinois. Simpson in shotgun. Throws it out deep. Caught by, can't really see his number there. It was Williams on the play. That brings it into the first half. Into the first half, the score, Alabama 28, Eastern Illinois 0. And now there's another injury that just happened as that last play was going on. Interested to see, though, because it looked like Williams was tackled with time left on the clock, which would have meant that they would have continued. Okay, they put 1 second back left on the clock. We assume Simpson will get there and then immediately clock the ball. All right, so I changed the name of the stream because we are going to go into the second half. And no, they rule that they're going to go ahead, and it looks like Simpson's just going to take it out the shotgun. He's in the shotgun right now. Takes a snap. We assume he's going to take a shot to the end zone here. Throws it way to the end zone. Interception. Not that it really matters, though. Halftime in the game, the score, Alabama 28, Eastern Illinois 0. I will take a halftime break, come back once the second half starts, although I do not know how far into the second half we're going to go. We may only do the first couple of drives that Alabama takes. Alabama will start the second half with the ball. See you when the second half starts. No halftime short. We're only going to do a end of game short. Here we go, back from the halftime break. Alabama receiving the second half kickoff. Short kick. Recovered. Returned by number 7, who was knocked out around the Alabama 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Sorry about that. Interested to see who trots out at quarterback. And it's going to be number 10, Austin Mack, at quarterback to start the second half for Alabama. Gain of about 7 on the play brings up 2nd and 3 for Alabama. Mack and shotgun. Officially ruled 2nd and 4. Throws it out to Hill. No, I'm sorry, that's Riley. Gets the first down and some before being spun out at around the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Alabama. Mack and shotgun. Hands it off to Riley. Riley gets about a 7-yard gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 3 for Alabama. Mack and shotgun. Takes a snap. Throws out to, I believe that is Edwards. No, it's Dalton. I'm sorry. Dalton, number 89, the tight end coming in place of Cuevas. Was on the reception on the play. He brings up 1st and 10 for Alabama. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. Mack and shotgun. Hands it off to Riley. Riley has a lot of room. No, excuse me, that was Deere on the handoff. Gets about a 15-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Alabama. Apparently, Deere is playing both wide receiver and running back at points in this game. Here we go. 1st and 10. Mack and shotgun. Throws out to number 7, who is going to get free of a few tacklers for being knocked out at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal for Alabama. That was number 7, Adams, on the reception. And here we go, 1st and goal. Mack and shotgun. No, I'm sorry. That was actually, I think, Riley who took the snap out of the Wildcat. Nothing really doing. Brings up 2nd and goal for Alabama. Timeout, Alabama. With 11:21 left. No, wait, I'm sorry. That was a injury timeout happening. With 11:21 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Cameras go to commercial while the injured player is being tended to. Still waiting to come back from commercial break after the injury timeout. Cameras back for commercial break after the injury timeout. Mack and shotgun. Hands it off up the middle. Touchdown, Alabama. That was number 0, Deer, on the running touchdown for Alabama, which we assume is going to put Alabama up 35-0. All 5 touchdowns scored by Alabama have come on the ground, none in the air for Alabama. Tulsi back in the game. Not sure if I agree with this. Extra point up and is good. With 11:03 left to go in the third quarter, to score Alabama 35, Eastern Illinois 0. Kickoff set to happen. Eastern Illinois going to have their first possession of the second half. Only had 2 first downs in the entire first half, did Eastern Illinois. Kickoff is in the air, and it's going to go out the back of the end zone, touchback. Eastern Illinois will start the drive at their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Wolf and shotgun. Hands it off, and it's swallowed up for a 5-yard loss on the play. Brings up 2nd and 15 for Eastern Illinois. Wolf and shotgun. Throws it out, completes it. Gain of about 2 on the play. 3rd and 12 for Eastern Illinois. Wolf and shotgun. Throws it out, incomplete. 4th and 12 for Eastern Illinois. Most likely a punting situation again. Punt is in the air. And it'll be down at the Alabama 22-yard line, 1st and 10, Alabama. And TV timeout with 9:20 left to go in the 3rd quarter to score. Alabama 35, Eastern Illinois 0. Whoops, I knocked the computer again. If Alabama scores on this drive, or Eastern Illinois does not score on their next drive, I will go ahead and end the stream. Still waiting for the action to come back from the commercial break after the punt. Cameras are back, just waiting for to go back on the field. Looks like Mack has been pulled from the game, and now number 12, Keelan Russell, is going to be at quarterback for Alabama. First down, gained about 3. Brings up second and about 7 for Alabama. Officially ruled second and 8 for Alabama. Russell in shotgun. Throws it out to Brooks. Swallowed up for a loss of about 3 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 12 for Alabama. Not really expecting a lot of deep shots for the remainder of the game now that Simpson's been pulled. Though they may go ahead and see what they have in this freshman, Keelan Russell. Only a second appearance, so he could still easily redshirt and still be a freshman next year. Here we go. Russell in shotgun. Throws it and completes it to, I think that's Williams. No, looks like it's a completely different receiver that I haven't seen all year. It's Mbabwe. Again, I pronounced his name terribly, but he was the guy who completed to. 1st and 10, Alabama from their own 35-yard line. Timeout. Somebody. Eastern Illinois. Clock stops with 7:31 left to go in the third quarter. To score still Alabama 35, Eastern Illinois 0. This is the first bit of action Keelan Russell has seen since the game against UL Monroe in the second week of the season. Now he's been called in for another blowout in what we assume might be his last game of the season, barring Alabama blowing out somebody else. Russell in shotgun. Hands it off to number 20, who I don't think I've seen play. Gain of about 4 on the play, brings up 2nd and 6 for Alabama. Washington, number 20, was on the carry for Alabama. Russell in shotgun. Throws it out to number 14. Also couldn't tell who that guy was. Pritchett, something like that. On the reception, number 14 for Alabama. Injury timeout, Eastern Illinois. That's going to bring up another TV timeout. With 7:03 remaining in the third quarter, same score, That's the last update. Still waiting for the game to return from the injury timeout. Here we are back from commercial break. First and 10, Alabama from their own 47-yard line. Russell and shotgun. And screen froze a bit. Throws it out to number 81. Big time gain on the play for 81, Edwards. First and 10, Alabama. Here we go. First and 10, Russell and shotgun. Hands it off to number 20, Washington. Gets a first down before he's bumped down from behind at the 10-yard line. First and goal, Alabama. Russell and shotgun. Hands it off to Washington. Washington, 2-yard gain on the play. Second and goal, Alabama. Washington with the handoff from Russell. Gain of about 5 on the play. 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Russell and shotgun. Hands off to Washington, but he spun down behind the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play, though. Holding against Alabama. Only looked like it was declined, so Alabama will have it 4th and goal. Would not be surprised if they try to let Keelan Russell show his mobility with here on 4th and goal. Russell alone in shotgun. Now there's some motion on the field with Washington joining him to his left side. Russell throws it. Tipped, incomplete. Turnover on downs. I think I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. I'll see you in the next live stream. Will be next Saturday in prime time as Alabama takes on Auburn in a game that they must win in order to stay alive both for the SEC championship and the playoff. I'll see you later. Stay tuned for a in the game short at the end of this game right here. But Bama taking care of business.